Hey, this is Mark from SMPostcards again, the best place to learn how to sell vintage postcards online. So today I have another full video. I'm going to go through on what postcards sold in our eBay, Etsy, and HipPostcard stores. And then also I have an exercise on what is the best envelope to use when mailing your postcards to your buyers and to make sure it's protected. Also have a postcard term and definition. And then I have a short video of a real photo postcard of the fire station in City Hall in Momence, Illinois. So the first thing is we sold 10 cards on eBay. I sold 1 card on Etsy and 1 card on HipPostcard. Our normal percentages throughout the year that averages out is it's usually 80% eBay, 15% of our sales are on Etsy, and 5% of our sales on Hip. But today eBay wins again. So I'm going to go ahead and get started on what cards sold. I'm going to show you the card, the front and the back, a little bit about the card, if I know anything about it, what it sold for, and where it's going to be shipped to. And what that does, it gives you a good idea, not just what we sold, showing you what we sold, it gives you an idea the variety that people are buying and what to look for when you go to the antique malls, the flea markets, the garage sales, buying big lots. The card that sold is Electric Peak, Yellowstone National Park. Right there, that's a linen card. I can kind of, feel the red count, the fiber card that's on there, but that's the Peak Yellowstone, the Electric Peak in Yellowstone. Got a road, got some snow in the mountains. It's an unposted card, nice solid fiber card stock. This card sold for $4.45, and that's our normal base price is $4.45 and free shipping domestically. If it's outside the country, then there is a small charge for international. And this is being sent to Gardner, Montana. Now the next card that's sold is just a chrome card. It's a scenic view of the beautiful Central College campus in Pella, Iowa. A lot of Iowa cards that I get, they usually sell. People in Iowa like postcards, but it's the just the campus of the Central College campus in Pella, Iowa. It's an unposted card. It does have a little blemish on top, but I'm not too worried about that. I didn't even put it in the description. It's just part of the storage of the card. It looks like some kind of ink blotting from the card that was probably next to without a sleeve. But that's just a chrome card. It's corners are really nice on it and everything. This card sold for $4. So that was probably a 10% offer that we send to buyers. We send offers all day long, every day, 10%. When they pop up on eBay, we just send them out. And this is being shipped to Harvard, Nebraska. The next order I have on eBay is 2 cards, and they're of the same place. It's the Mount Vernon as seen from the Bowling Green Gate. So it's a Bowling Green Gate is the first one there, and that's a chrome card. And then we have Bowling Green Gate, Mount Vernon, Virginia. This is a divided back card. So it's basically the same, not really the same thing, but it looks like this one has the gate open and this one's closed, so they're different periods, different dates. So he actually went through and found those in the store. They were totally different numbers. I would say they were put in, listed probably about 6 months apart if I look at the inventory numbers. But the first card, it's on, both of them are unposted cards on there. And I don't see any writing at all, no flea market writing on these cards. Pretty nice cards, and you can tell this is a divided back because of the line in the middle, and it's a later, it's a little off center. They made the address a little bit bigger. When the earlier divided backs, they left more room for the address than they did for the message, but later on they kind of moved it to the middle. So these are really nice cards. Both of these cards sold for our full asking price of $4.45 a piece. The total order ended up being $8.95, and it's being shipped to Arlington, Virginia, so not far from Mount Vernon. So Mount Vernon cards, there's a lot of cards I have up for Mount Vernon. They're all different views. Some of them I don't put up anymore. I put them in the flea market box because I have a lot of them up there, but if they do have writing or they're different periods like this, I will put them up there. I'll go ahead and do 2 more cards, and then I'll break off into tell you a little bit about what is the best envelope to use to mail your postcards to your buyers to give you the best presentation. I have some real good information on how they grade envelopes, etc. So hang on, let's go and get these 2 cards out of the way, and I'll get into that exercise. So this card that's sold on eBay is the residence of J. Horace Harding, Seabright, New Jersey. This is a white border card. It's unposted. It's not a linen card because it's not on the fiberboard or the high reg count card. I can't feel it's a nice smooth. It's white border. It has 1 cent stamp box on there. But that's the residence of J. Horace Harding. So that's pretty cool card. I love the white border cards. They always sell. Like I said in my video, they're kind of elusive. I don't get as many of these as I would like. But I do, when I search through postcards, I always grab the white border cards if they have a good subject on them on there. This card sold for $4.45, and it's being shipped to North Reading, Maine. Okay, now as I go through these cards, it's just not about how many I sold or how much money. What you want to really key on is what type of cards are selling. What are people buying? Are they subject card, view cards, topic cards, etc. So when you go out looking for postcards, you can, get a good idea and a good feel as you go through the box. To go through 100 postcards, doesn't take me too long. I might miss a few here and there, but most of the time I can pull out. I usually do a first run through the box or the basket at the flea market or the antique store, and then I put the ones I think to the side, and then I'll do a second view through those, and then I'll do the last like 3 runs through it. So I do a quick run, then I do a fast run of the ones I picked, put the ones back I don't want, and then I finally decide on the ones I want. So, but that's what you want to look for when I do these what sold videos, is just what is he selling? What are people, not what I'm selling, but what are people buying and what are they looking for? So the next card, before I get into the exercise, I always like these cards. Now this is a linen card of the state capitol at night, Austin, Texas. Look at that blue. Now with the linen cards, these are the fast drying inks that they use. This one doesn't really have a real high texture on there. They really loaded this one up with ink, but I can actually look and see, and I can, if I press down, I can feel that it's a linen card on there. But it's a really nice card, and the blues just stand out. And that's what they did with the linens. They added like a blue to the cayenne palette, the bright inks and stuff like that. So that's the state capitol in Austin, Texas at night. This card sold for $4, so it was an offer, and it is being shipped to Lithonia, Georgia. Okay, so now I'm going to get into the exercise about what is the best envelope to mail your postcards to your buyers when they buy a postcard. Now I'm going to be talking about lower value cards. Anything, we consider any postcard $30 and above is going to be packed up in cardboard in a poly mailer, and it's going to be sent out first class with tracking. Anything basically below that, and it's at our discretion, will be sent. If they're single orders up to 4 cards, they're going to be sent into the best envelope ever made to mail postcards to your buyers. This is a 6.5 by 4.5 rigid photo mailer. It's a stay flat white cardboard self-seal envelopes. I get mine from EchoSwift. EchoSwift, I'm not affiliated or support the channel at all, but they got the best envelopes. When I first started selling postcards, I did a ton of research. I went out, bought postcards from people to figure out how they mail them, what it looked like, what the presentation, and one of the things I'm really picky about, I don't know if it's just me, and I don't mean to offend anybody by how they mail things or what they do. You run your business your way, but I'm just going to give you my opinion. Even selling toys and stuff, I use brand new boxes. I use fresh boxes from eBay. They do get recycled by the customer, hopefully, but everything is nice and clean and neat. I don't put garbage in the boxes, etc. I don't use 10,000 rolls of tape on it. I use the tape that will seal with 1 strip, etc. So, but this is the best envelope. Now, when you buy envelopes, there's a grading on envelopes. And how do they grade envelopes? It's called GSM. What does GSM mean? GSM is an acronym meaning grams per square meter. So this translates into how much a single sheet of paper measuring 1 millimeter by 1 millimeter weighs. So again, GSM is how they grade postcards, and it's a number of how much the paper weighs. Effectively, the higher the GSM, the heavier the paper. So if you have a GSM of 10, it's going to be real tissue paper. The higher you go, the thicker and heavier the paper is. So the higher GSM is good. Now if you get too high of a GSM, then you get into weight, and weight is going to cost you money. So this postcard here, or this envelope, has a GSM of 250. A plain white envelope is a lot lower. This eBay envelope, I couldn't even tell you what the GSM of this. This weighs over 1.5 ounces basically without anything in it or any tape or label on it. This is under an ounce. This will protect the card better, but is there really need for a lower cost card to put it in one of these and pay more shipping? So that's the GSM. This is real heavy. This is lighter. Your plain white envelopes are a lot lighter. And I'll go through the different levels here in a second. So what difference does the GSM make for your envelope? The GSM affects the quality and the durability of your envelope. So the higher the GSM, the better it is, but you don't want to get too high of a GSM where you're paying too much postage to protect your item. So the common uses for different GSMs, the 70 to 90 GSM, the lowest on the scale I have here, is a business envelope to enclose letters and documents. These envelopes are generally really cheap. The next one is 90 to 100 GSM. This is your average envelope that is used to send through the post. That's your plain white envelopes. And in the postcard world, you're going to hear people say PWE. That's plain white envelope. So that's your cheaper, you're sending a check to the electric company or whatever. That's your regular envelope. Your 110 to 130 GSM is your premium envelopes. Those are used like for wedding invitations, greeting cards. You'll find they're heavier on there. Now remember, this is 250. This is the best envelope, is 250 GSM. So 150 to 180 is your thick envelopes that are very sturdy and protect its contents. So that's 140 to 180 on the scale. This is off the scale. This is 250 GSM. So on this scale that I found that I'm using to read to you, it goes up to 180. They don't even talk about 250. So this is already better than what I found. So when you get these rigid envelopes, they come in different sizes. You can get them this big. Now we use these, the same company, but this is like 11 or 12 by 9 or something like that. We use them for magazine ads, and we do put a piece of cardboard in, but these actually ship first class package. So we do use the larger ones. You can get the eBay ones, but this is the best envelope. Now eBay is starting up and testing out right now on sports cards, non-postcards, the eBay standard envelope. If you are shipping your stuff in an envelope about this size, this is one that I got in, this is what it looks like. You can print out a 4x6 label on a Rolo, a Zebra, or whatever, and you can affix it right to your envelope. If you're shipping in anything that's smaller than that, you're going to probably have a problem. But that will be only 51 cents for 1 ounce, 71 cents for 2 ounces, and 91 cents for 3 ounces. So you want to be prepared for that. These envelopes, tried and true, the 4x6 label fits on there perfectly. So now let me go through, like I said, I bought a lot of postcards in the last couple weeks, and I saved a lot of the envelopes just to show you the different ways people have shipped them to me and what my thoughts are. As a buyer, not a seller, but as a buyer receiving these postcards. So the first one, hey, the best envelope. This is the best envelope. The problem here is they put a piece of cardboard inside. It raised the weight Luckily, it was only one postcard, and it still made it through on the 1 ounce charge of 55 cents. But with the 250 GSM, there's no need for that, in my eyes. Remember, I'm a buyer right now. I'm not a seller. This is my opinion. This is what I saw. And I know how to open these envelopes. So that wasn't too much of a problem. Next one, I mean, why did I get a postcard in an envelope this big? There's more chances of bending. No, there's not. They stuck a big old heavy piece of cardboard in there. They paid first class package for most of the postcards I bought were $12, but majority of them were $8 and below. So these were not high value cards. They paid about $4, their cost, $4 to $5 to ship this to me. So, and that's just, and the paper is a very low, this is just regular paper, but they stuck a big piece of cardboard in there. Bubble mailer. Why would you stick a postcard in a bubble mailer? And then they put in fragile. I talked to my post lady and I asked her, do these mean anything? She says no. When I put these in the mailbox, she said, she will take them out of the mailbox and put them in a tray. The tray goes to the post office. The tray gets on a truck. The tray goes to the distribution center. It gets dumped in a machine. It comes out of the machine into a tray, comes back to the delivered post office, and the person puts it in the mailbox. So I don't think the machines really care about these. Now in the older days, they used to do manual sorting and all that stuff, but just to buy these stickers is more cost for your business, more time, and they don't really do them. Now I do have a do not bend sticker when some people do request do not bend on the envelope. That's the only time I use it. I think it ruins the presentation, and there's really no need for that. Remember, I'm a buyer here. Next one, Stamp City. I love it when people use their stamps, but if you add all these up, they're way over what, this is only 55 cents. They're way over. And I didn't know how to open this. They put so much tape on it. Oh, I got a greeting card. They stick postcards that people buy in old greeting cards. No need to do that if you use the best envelope. If you use one of these, there's no way you can put a greeting card in. There's no need. Very easy. Then they put do not bend on there. And they used a metal clasp. They put tape over it, but that's a no-no too for the machines. So this was probably non-machinable. Another big envelope. This is a very light one. They put tape all over it. I didn't know how to open it. I still don't know how to open it. And then they stuck some cardboard in there. So I had to dig around to get that. And they put a stamp on it and they mailed it. Bubble mailer. I go to the mailbox, you get something like that. Did that give you a good perceived value? That it's clean, it's a good seller? It just doesn't look good to me that someone blocked out a big old thing on there. I think it said eBay, and I don't know what it said on there, I can't tell. But then they put a big old eBay envelope inside. Then they cut the top, and I had to dig through there. A lot of work, a lot of cost. Don't need to. Use the best envelope. No problems. But why in a bubble mail? This cost about $4 or $5 to mail. Big long one. I mean, the weight of the stamps on here alone is going to put you over an ounce. So I don't know what this is. I had to dig through, and I didn't. There was so much tape on this. I finally had to cut the top off a little bit to get it open. And and with all that cardboard, I can't hold it up to the light to see where the card is. So I was afraid I was going to cut the card. And they just put so much tape on these things. This is the type of rigid, kind of like the best envelope. A little bit bigger, heavier, higher GSM. This is probably over an ounce already. They could have got away with this and just paid one stamp. But these stamps right here probably add up to about $1. So they doubled the cost. This one came in, it was just a plain white envelope. No protection, no nothing. Nothing. Very bad perceived from the customer. This one was a plain white envelope. But then they cut a piece of cardboard and put that in there. It could make it as non-machinable if you put too much in there, and they put do not mend. No need. That's what that is. Hey, the best envelope. Just like the one I got. That's the best envelope. I had to cut it at the top, but then they ended up putting some kind of cardboard in there. Raises They didn't need to put that other additional ounce on there if they didn't put that cardboard in there. They could have stayed. They could have saved 20 cents. Plain white envelope. I got a greeting card of a pizza. That is, from a buyer standpoint, I don't like seeing that. Even though it protects the card, and some people are going to say, yeah, it's recycling them and stuff. Nowadays, people, I don't like to see that. But I took the card. I mean, I gave them good feedback. I'm not going to beat anybody up. It made it here. It'll make it just fine. But by giving a good envelope, I mean, if you got a nice, clean envelope in the mail, something like this with one stamp, it's got the address out there. You know, on the back, it's got just one ink stamp, not a lot of stuff inside. I put on there, it says, open carefully, postcard inside, you know, to take care. That is a nice presentation in my eyes, as a buyer, that I would like to get a nice postcard like this. In the envelope, in the packaging. So, that's all I have on there. Remember, 6.5 by 4.5 rigid mailers. Get them on Amazon, eBay. Links. I'll put a link down in the bottom for the eBay one. And that is an affiliate for us, so if you buy it through eBay, it does support the channel a bit. Not enough to buy a lot of envelopes, but I think it's pennies. But eBay likes it that when we do that. But that's the best envelope that I found. And if anybody's got anything way to do it better, let me know, because I'm all about shipping and giving a good presentation in the mailbox and making sure things are safe. But if you go check our feedback, you won't see a lot of people saying we had bad envelopes or bad packaging. And just don't use a lot of tape. I got to get the razor blade out. That's a chance of someone cutting a nice postcard, and I hate to see that happen. So, okay, so that's the exercise. I hope you got something out of it. Please put any comments in the bottom. I'm sure I've probably stepped on a few nerves here and there, but that's from a buyer standpoint. Enough about the envelopes. I'm off my soapbox now. So the next card that's sold is the Big Bear Dam in California. Now I can tell you probably what sold it is that little car right there. Is an older car that probably helped sell it. This is a nice clean card. There's no scratches or anything on it. Unposted, solid, crisp edges. Really nice card. They paid $4.45, and it's going to Bear Lake, California. So, you know, maybe that's where the dam is. But that car right there, I remember listing this and I saw the card, or the card on there. I'm not a car guy, so I'm not for sure what year that is, if you can see it. But if you know what it is, stick it in the comments. And there, but I tell you what, if you know cars, you can date postcards pretty good on some of these things. But again, that's $4.45, and it's going to Bear Lake, California. This card that's sold, and I've been selling a lot of the Knott's Berry Farm, Ghost Town, California cards. This is the Church of Reflections, and you can probably see why they call it the Church of Reflection. It reflects into the lake there. So this is a nice chrome card. It was posted in December 4th, 1957. And it's got a 2-cent stamp on it, on there. But that's the Church of Reflections at Knott's Berry Farm, Ghost Town, California. I always list Knott's Berry Farm, and I've been selling a lot of Knott's Berry Farms lately. This card sold for $4.45, and it's going to Beverly Hills, California. Now the next card that's sold, I guess it's the eye of the beholder, what art is. This doesn't really like art to me, but maybe someone it does. Don't want to offend anybody, but it's the Los Angeles County Museum of Art, Los Angeles, California. Beautiful new museum in the Miracle Mile on Wilshire Drive, east of Fairfax Avenue. So I guess that's art. It's sitting out there. I'm not too sure, but it's a chrome card, unposted, nice card, sold for $4.45. It's going to Southgate, California. Now I'm going to do a couple more cards, and then I'll go over the postcard term that I got. It's kind of an interesting term and definition, and then we still got the short video to go through. So, and I got a couple cards on Etsy and HIP to go through. But as you notice, we're selling chrome cards, art museums, cars, dams. A lot of this stuff you're going to see when you go looking through lots of cards if you want to buy them and sell them and stuff like that. So that's what this is about, is to give you a good variety of what to look for when you go out digging through postcards just to see what it is. I get a lot of emails saying, hey, how do I do this? What sells? What should I look for? That's what these videos are all about. The last card that sold on eBay here, we still got Etsy and Hip to look through. This is a neat one. I actually read this card when I did list it. And this is a card, when I first started selling postcards, this is one of the cards that sold. So this has been out there for a long, long time. The inventory number is like 5482, and we're up in the 30,000, 40,000 numbers. So this is just to go to show. I probably had multiple of these cards, and that's what. But this is the last one of them. This is the Fort Knox Gold Depository, Fort Knox, Kentucky. It's always really cool to think about Fort Knox and what's in there, you know, on there. But that's the. It's got the flag. It's got the gates in the front. And unposted, nice crisp, nice card. So that sold for $445, and it's going to Fort Myers, Florida. That's all the cards that I sold on eBay. I still got one card on Etsy and one card on Hip to show you here in a minute. But I wanted to go through the definition of a term that I picked out to talk about today. One of the biggest things you can do to get up the learning curve of selling and collecting and studying postcards is to learn the terminology. Go out on the internet, look for vintage postcards, read the definitions, what they mean. You're going to see, sometimes you're going to see some bleed through on different what people say it is and stuff, but most of the time you're going to get the core of it. But there is a learning curve, and this is the easiest way to learn how to talk postcard. So the term today is writing tab. What is a writing tab? So the official definition is, writing tab is the unprinted area on the front of a postcard that was left blank for the purpose of providing space for the message. Before 1907, only the address was allowed on the back. That's your undivided back cards. So it was a necessity to have tabs on the front once the photos started being put on the cards to have a space to put the message. A lot of times these spaces were not very large, so the message would bleed over into the photo. Once the divided back card was introduced and the government allowed the address and the message on the back with a divided back, then the necessity for the tabs was no longer needed. So on your older undivided backs, you're going to see the tabs, and they appear in the bottom of the card, but they also could be placed on the side or in the corner. Some designers use them pretty creatively where they put them, and I'm going to put a couple photos up here of the different writing tabs that I found with the cards that we have in our inventory for that, but you're going to find them on the undivided back cards. While postcard images now cover the entire front with the image, some publishers continued to use tabs for more years, even that they were not needed, as writing could be put onto the back. So a writing tab, you're going to see that the picture, I don't have one right in front of me, but the picture will be like over this part, and then there'll be a white space here on there. And there is a term for how the writing goes in the pictures, and I'm going to be doing a video to show you what the name of that type of postcard is. But the writing tabs, you'll see them on the right. Most of the time you'll see them on the right side or along the bottom. It'll be just a white space and you'll see writing in there, on there, but sometimes people will write across there. But that's what a writing tab is. So when you have a customer or you're looking at a postcard and it has a writing tab, that's one way to date it, to kind of get you in the right period. And then you go look at the postmark, you go look at the stamp box, you look at the how the card's made, where it was made, all that stuff is part of dating postcards. And I have a video coming up in the future about what the things you can do real quick to kind of put you in the era, what year the postcard was published. So that's our term, writing tab. So let's go ahead and finish up the Etsy one. Etsy is slower than eBay. It is not as a lot of volume. But yesterday I did have a 9-card $50 order on Etsy. This month Etsy's been really good. Last month it was kind of steady. But for the year, Etsy does pretty good. It's about 15% of our sales. This card on Etsy is the elk on the Mohawk Trail. So this must be a statue out on the Mohawk Trail. It kind of looks like a linen card, but it's more of a printed card. I'm not for sure really where it was made and stuff, but it is hand-colored card, so it is a printed card type, but it was hand-colored in the process. But that's the elk on Mohawk Trail. This card sold for $4.45, and it's being shipped to Dedham, Maine. Go ahead and do the short video now before I do the last card on Hip. And remember, we have a lot of short videos we're doing. They're about 30 seconds or less. It's a past or present view. So like this is a real photo postcard. If you look on the back here, it says photo postcard, and it has a Kodak paper box. So this is a real photo postcard of the fire station at City Hall in Momence, Illinois. So I would probably date this 40s, 50s, around there. On there, now this is the police station. This is the administration building, City Hall, and the doors now, all this is not the fire station anymore. That's the police department. And right across this way, across the road, kitty corner, is the new fire station that they actually built. They actually moved the house of one of the chiefs on the fire department that lived in that house where the fire department is now out into the country, and they built a new fire station. But Momence Fire Department is a very good department. They do river rescue. They have a wide area to deal with on there. But that's the real photo postcard. So what we do with these short videos is we get the postcard, and then we go out and find a place and take a present picture of it. So let's go ahead and start this video for the Momence City Hall Fire Station in Momence, Illinois. Here you go. Hope you liked that video. Like I said, there's a bunch out there in a playlist. You can go look, and those should come out every Tuesday morning or Tuesdays for the short videos. Last card that we have was sold on HipPostcard. Now Hip is only 5% of our sales. HipPostcard is a niche site. For postcards, they have Hip Comics and Hip Stamps. They integrate with eBay. So if I put a list of postcard on eBay, it automatically gets to Hip. By the time I hit publish on eBay and I move over to Hip, it's pretty well over there. And when a card sells on Hip, it automatically tells eBay to end the listing on eBay and put sold in front of the title. So it's in my sold ended things there, so it won't sell twice. Never had a problem with it. Hip has been super. Hopefully they get more volume coming, but that's another one like Etsy. I'll have some big orders on Hip, or I'll just have one card here or there, but it does pay for itself and more throughout the year. But it is growing, and you'll hear other people talk about HipPostcard, Hip Comics, Hip Stamps. The support is great. The fees are a lot lower than Etsy and eBay. They only use PayPal. They have feedback. They have a shipping and postage, but it's real simple to do. There's no time involved with Hip at all except to ship postcards. So take a look at that, HipPostcards.com. This one that sold on Hip was Purgatory, Newport, Rhode Island. I guess Purgatory. I think that means a little different, but that's what it is a channel going through there. And it's a linen card, but look at the blue. That's how you can tell linen cards too. It's just that blue. It's so bright on there. This card sold for $4.45, and it's being shipped to Rhode Island. So we went through all the cards that sold. As you can see, there's chrome, linens, divided back, multiple orders across 3 different platforms. They will sell. You just got to get them online. Get it for a price to sell, get what you need out of it, what you paid for it, and pay for your supplies and whatever your time, come up with a price. Prices were all over the board, etc. My last video I went through a little test, and you can take a look at that. But if you want to know more about the envelope, remember, this is the best envelope, unless someone can convince me differently. You just put the postcard in it. No need to put cardboard in there, as it's 250 GSM. It seals nice. It will never come open. Don't have to put a lot of tape on it. No need to handwrite there. Get a label maker, and it'll save you time. Time is money. If you're selling a lot of postcards, you're going to want it. It's just like if you sell a lot of boxes in the reselling thing, and you don't have a thermal printer, and you're selling a lot of boxes, it is a time saver. So, but some people like to print out and tape their stuff. That's fine. It just depends on how you want to do it. But this is the best envelope. I'm telling you, 6.5, 4.5, rigid photo mailer. And I'll put the link below. Went over to what a writing tab is, and we did that short video on the Moments Fire Department. Check out our other videos. Now, if you want to know more about the envelopes, there is a scanning video, a inventory, how we do our inventory video in our channel, and there's also a packing of the postcards for there. There's 3 videos that get you started on how we do it, and that you don't have to do it that way. It just gives you a good idea of what it was. So that'll be the end for the video. We appreciate you watching, and we hope to see you on the next